to speak here today. My name is Roger Tilton. I live in Milford, New Hampshire. And I've got to say, it's really hard coming in front of people or standing up and advocating for an illegal drug to be made legal. Since 1937, when the U.S. government put out the propaganda film Reefer Madness, and when President Richard Nixon started his war on drugs back in 1969, those two government operations have fed the lie that marijuana is a very, very dangerous, harmful, violent drug. What we have learned over the last 60 or 70 years is that you can't overdose on marijuana. You can't die from it. And in fact, there's a study that has occurred between Dartmouth University, upstate, and the University of Toronto that says marijuana can actually help people recover from opioid addiction. I also read that New Hampshire has the oldest average age of legislators of any legislative body in the United States. So to quote from a well-known 60s poet, "The times they are a-changin'." 20 years ago, the United States found itself the leader in a new industry. That industry is called the Internet. And here we are 20 years later, and there's another new burgeoning industry in this country. Right now, 2015, we saw $5 billion worth of marijuana sold legally in the United States in one of the 23 states that has legal medical marijuana or legal recreational marijuana. And that number is predicted to go as high as $50 million in the next 4 years. That is what I would call a burgeoning industry. Just a quick note about me. Like I said, I live in Milford. I ran for the state senate last year. I've lived in Milford for 9 years. I've worked on Wall Street for the last 27 years as an investment advisor. The last 13 of those years I've commuted to Seattle, Washington, where I had lived the previous 26 years and began my career. In the last 13 years, commuting back to Seattle every month for 4 or 5 days at a time, I've seen what's happened since they first legalized medical marijuana and then voters legalized recreational marijuana. And I'm here to tell you that nothing sinister has occurred. In fact, as Representative Hirsch said in his opening statement, the industry in Seattle is very mature. The stores are clean, the regulations are very effective. I was in Seattle just over the past week, and I went into a store just as Representative Hirsch did. And I've been going into stores almost every time I'm in Seattle just to see how they've matured and grown. There were 80 people in that store, all paying cash. It's a huge business. As you've seen from his handout, there's a lot of revenue to be had, but that's not what I want to get at. I have 2 daughters. One is 24 years old, and today she starts the very last semester of law school. She goes to the University of Oregon, where voters last year passed legal marijuana. And her part-time job is in the city attorney's office in the city of Springfield. And her job last summer was to update municipal ordinances to comply with the new legal marijuana laws in the state of Oregon. My other daughter is 13 years old, and she goes to the Dairyfield School in New Hampshire, in Manchester. And she knows that her father is an advocate for legal marijuana, and she knows that it's illegal. And she also knows that she's not to try cigarettes or alcohol or marijuana until her brain is fully formed. And that's why this law is so important. 21 and over. It is reasonable for adults to make their own decisions, especially in the live free or die state. 2 last things, and these are on economics. Politicians always want to say, jobs, jobs, jobs. Well, as I mentioned, this is a burgeoning industry. There's going to be a lot of jobs, a lot of high-paying jobs. Just last week, Business Insider magazine, using a criteria of 8 different circumstances, determined that the state of Washington has the best economy of all 50 states. It's growing at 8% a year. The average wage in the state of Washington is one of the highest in the country. And I guess that's where I'll leave it. From a real-world perspective, having lived there for 26 years and then commuting there for the last 13, I've seen that legal marijuana has been a boon to society, not just because it takes the criminality out of it, it frees up courts, police, detectives, and it also lets the state take matters into its own hands. And I'd like to say, for the live free or die state, taking pride being first in the nation, I say let's be fifth. Let's be the 5th state to legalize marijuana. Thank you.